Every day, hundreds of people need to leave their own homes and go to other countries looking for a better life. Um, Today, we are going to talk about the immigration, all the meaning that word has, and all the types of immigration that we know. We are going to talk about immigration in the different countries of Europe, like in Denmark, Iceland, Germany, and Spain. How is the immigration working in these countries? Is the European Union doing a good work in relation to this problem? Is the people that leave their own homes finding a better life? Now we are going to answer these questions.
Denmark, there is 142,000 refugees that have gotten the paper to live in Denmark. In Denmark we only have 17 refugee camps because in 2018 we only have 4,000 that is trying to live in Denmark. Denmark is on the 46th place of taking refugees in the country, and one time there was a man, he was escaping from Syrian with his wife, and on their way they got a little daughter, so she didn't have any pass or any papers that she came from there. So in Liban she couldn't live there, it was only the parents that could live, so they have to move all the way to Denmark because there she could got the papers, so she also could live in Denmark.
Difference between different types of immigration, because each case is different and the reason for someone is leaving their own home could be very varied. So there's some people that run away from something like war, from threat, or from, yes, and that's for being different, that it discriminates for being different, like be LGBTI, or have a different religion. And this type of immigrants could be called like refugees. Then we know also people that leave their countries searching for a better life, like new opportunities, running away from poverty, and this type of immigrants could be like the immigrants. And yes, and the reality is that when they arrive here, they shock with the reality, they feel marginalized and disintegrated, and they arrive to think that it was better in their own countries, and yes, that's so sad.
In Spain, at the start of the 21st century, the immigration was at a 12.2% of all the population. Mostly, they came from Germany and France, Great Britain, and other places in Europe that were still well off. However, as the century went on, about a decade ago, this decreased as Spain's economy lowered, and the immigrants decreased to 10.7%. It still meant that 4.5 million immigrants were living in the country, but it was a lower number than before. Why did it lower? Well, the economic crisis hit Spain in 2008, and many people lost their jobs, and it no longer was such a good option to move here from other countries. However, nowadays it still is better for many people than in their own country. Many people from South America already spoke Spanish, and that made Spain a good target for them. And so nowadays the most common immigrants are from South America and from Morocco and Romania. Spain is now, as I said, in a very difficult economic situation, so they do not have jobs or the means to be able to support these families who do not support themselves from their own countries. And how tragic it is that they're trying to run away from a bad situation and are not welcomed with open arms. We need to try harder to welcome them into our countries, and that's why ACATHI, this organisation, is trying very hard to welcome the immigrants into our country and make the time that they need to wait to be accepted, which is now 6 months, much lower. And as far as the refugees, Spain was meant to help 17,000 refugees and only helped 1,000, which is a dismal amount of what they were meant to. This is very sad, and we definitely need to try harder to accept them and organise them and give them a better life here than what they are running away from.
Najat Al-Hajmi, who is a writer that when she was 8 years old, she immigrates to Spain because her father lived in there. In Spain, during the Civil War, there were a lot of people that immigrated to Catalonia because it was one of the places that fell after in the hands of nationalists. In this period, 7,000 people arrived to La Garriga. Only one town received 7,000 of people, and nowadays all Europe has to receive 12,000 of people, but they can. This would have to produce empathy to the Spanish population because they live in a similar situation, but doesn't happen. It's so sad.
Since the year 1995, 500 refugees have arrived in Iceland, invited by the government. In 2008, the town Akranes in Iceland offered to take around 30 refugees. They decided to only take single moms and their children. 8 single moms from Palestine and their children arrived in Iceland. Support groups and families helped the Palestinian families to adapt to living in Iceland. For every one Palestinian family, there were 3 Icelandic support families. It took the refugees some time to get used to the Icelandic weather and culture. They had never seen a gay couple, so that was a shock for them. Before they came to Iceland, they lived in a refugee camp on the border of Syria and Iraq. The Red Cross came to the camp and invited them to live in Iceland. They have never lived in Palestine, but they would like to live there.
The European Union is receiving every day hundreds of refugees, and it's calculated that approximately 20,000 of them are living in all the European countries. It could seem a big number, but if we count all the people is running away of their countries every day, it's not more than 1% of the people that is the refugees. That's so sad because the richest countries of the world are not helping the people who need help and the people who need to be received, and we are like marginalizing and disintegrating them, and it has to produce sadness to all of us because it's like a problem. Immigrants also have a lot of problems for being adapted in Europe. They arrive here and they encounter with stingy people who discriminate them for their place of origin.
Most people leave the country and come to Bavaria because of political persecution, distress or civil war. Most of them are from Asia or Africa, and sometimes the people who come to Bavaria have to fight because some people don't accept them in Germany. The immigration in Bavaria started in 1915, 10 years after the Second World War. Today, the migrants who came to Bavaria are living in community houses because they can't find any apartments. But there's an organization called Fit for Move, and they help the refugees to find a new apartment so they can live a normal life. And because of such organizations, today here in Bavaria are living more than 3,000 2,000 refugees with a permanent right of residence.
This phenomenon has been happening for many years.
And sadly, it's still a current topic.
We need to make changes now and learn how to be more human.
And we need to help them who really needs the help.
As a continent, we have to think about it.
And that's it. That's the project Erasmus Plus.